Hey guys, it's me, Rena from Snailworks Crochet, and in today's video, I'm going to see how long it takes for me to complete a blanket. So for those of you who have kind of followed along with the channel for a little bit longer, I had reached out to the charity Warm Up America and volunteered to be a blanket joiner. And for those of you unfamiliar with the charity, Warm Up America is an organization dedicated to providing blankets, hats, scarves, whatever, to various charities all over the United States. But the one thing that makes them unique is that they will also accept blanket squares that you can crochet or knit and send to them. And then they will have volunteers put those blanket squares together into blankets. I had reached out and asked to be a volunteer. And so I have a lot of blanket squares in my office right now, just taking up space and needing to be turned into blankets. So now, about a couple months ago, I believe the coordinator had sent out an email to the multiple blanket joiners out there asking, how long does it take to join each blanket size? You know, roughly estimate how long does that take? And that kind of spurred this video idea for me because I actually don't know and I want to put that to the test. So what I will be doing is I will be assembling 4 blankets in this video. Warm Up America has 4 different blanket categories for assembling blankets. They have the baby blanket, the lap blanket, the kid blanket, and the adult blanket. So I will be assembling those 4 blankets in this video, and I will be timing how long it takes me to assemble each. So I will kind of do something similar to what I did in my 24 hours of crochet and knit video, where I had a timer and just, recorded each time I was actually, crocheting and doing that, but I will be doing that with blankets now. I want to start this by doing the biggest size blanket, which is the adult size blanket. The adult size blanket is their largest blanket and it takes the most time to complete. So I was thinking I could do the largest blanket and then end on the baby blanket, which is a lot more reasonable and manageable. So in this box here, I have counted out 49 squares for the adult size blanket that I want to do. The idea for this color scheme is that I want to make the most maximalist blanket possible. And I picked out all of the variegated yarn squares in this, and I'm going to join them together into like this almost barfing rainbows type of blanket, because I think that would be incredibly fun. Progress on the blanket, it's looking good. I need to add one more row, but according to my timer, it took, just crocheting the rows across, took about 2 hours, give or take, and now I need to stitch it up the other way. But yeah, this is taking a lot shorter than I expected. I thought this would take longer. Hey guys, update on the adult size blanket. It's been like a couple days since I started, and according to my timer, I am about 3-ish hours into making this blanket. I finished putting the squares together one way, so now I'm putting them together the other way, I guess, and this is the adult size blanket. I think I said this before, but the color choice I have is that I basically picked out every single square of variegated yarn and decided to put it all into this incredibly maximalist blanket. And yeah, that's it. But it's funny because, when I've made these blankets in the past, it's always taken me so long, but now that I'm timing myself, it feels like it's actually a lot quicker than I initially realized, which is probably for the best. But I was also previously experimenting with different ways of joining these squares at the same time, and I finally picked like the way I think is most efficient for me to do that, which is just joining everything with a single crochet. I think it's most secure. It's the least stressful and most mindless, which you kind of have to do for joining blankets like this. And I don't know, for me, it kind of helps me control how these squares are put together, because every time I tried using slip stitch, I think something about it like wasn't clear, and I couldn't figure it out. Slip stitch join just does not work for me, and obviously sewing everything together would take even longer. So my most efficient way to join these is via single crochet, and I think it still looks fine even with doing a single crochet join. I'm still not done with the joining part of this, but it's going well, all things considered. I'm able to just kind of chill out. It just, I don't know, I just expected this to take a lot longer than it actually has taken. And not to say that like it isn't taking a long time. I mean, all I can say is that it's quicker than I anticipated. Which is a good thing, because that probably incentivizes me to make more adult size blankets, and I feel like charities like that would appreciate more adult size blankets, because baby blankets are easy and short, but adult size blankets, they take a while. So maybe now I might actually make more adult size blankets, and the more adult size blankets I make, the quicker I can actually get through that box. But yeah, I will continue working on this, and then I'll get back to you and we can pick the child size blanket colors together. Also, I want to preface that I plan to join all of the blankets the same way. So just doing the single crochet joining, and then I plan on doing 2 single crochets as a border for every single blanket. Just to make things consistent, and just to make it like, a fair comparison between all the sizes. I could do a crab stitch border, but that will take longer. I also want to include the time it takes to add a border, because I don't think any blanket will be completed without that, and maybe I'll include the time it takes to weave in my ends, because with the way I'm doing things, there really isn't that many ends to weave in. I could probably just weave them in as I do my border. So yeah, I will include the time it takes to do the border and the time it takes to weave in my ends as part of the joining time as well.
Oh wow, you can see all the smudges on my iPad, but I accidentally let the timer go on for a certain period of time. I don't remember how long. I'm just going to remove like 1 hour from this, because I think that sounds about right. So 6 hours and 21 minutes, I'll be 5 hours and 21 minutes, and then I'm gonna have to reset this and start from scratch for the rest of my blanket. I just finished the adult blanket. I just need to weave in this last end, and then I will be done, but I kind of did like a weave in as you go with some of the stray little ends here. But yeah, this says 2 hours 16 minutes, so add that to the 5:21. So this took about 7 hours and 37 minutes to complete. So yeah, roughly 7 hours to completely put together an adult blanket.
Hey guys, so I'm gonna show you how I like to pick the colors of my blankets. So for the next blanket, which is the kids blanket, I want to use this yarn I have. This green yarn right here. I have quite a bit of it left over from when I made my Christmas sweaters, because I bought like 2 1-pound skeins from Hobby Lobby. And so I want to use the rest of this yarn as my connecting yarn. Now, let me show you how I pick my colors. So normally, dive into this thing and dig around, but this time, I'm going to just do this. And I'm going to figure out which of these will look good with green yarn, essentially. And for this one, I need to pick out 42 squares. I think I'm going to make a blanket with this theme of color, just because I have 6 of them and it'll be nice. So I just need to find 36 more squares. I got 42 squares. I'm gonna have to organize this a little bit to actually make them look like a blanket, but I'll get working on it. So I counted out 6 squares, but I seem to have made a mistake in my expectations, so I'm still gonna keep this, but but it might be a little different from my intended plan. For some reason, I was supposed to have, in my mind, I needed 7 of these instead of 6 of these, so it's kind of throwing off the intended pattern I had for this. So I'm still gonna make a kid's blanket. It's just different than what I was expecting. Update on my blanket. I finished the kid-sized blanket. I have everything made together, border, everything. Yay, cool, fun, we love it, slay. Also, for time check, I have 5 hours and 28 minutes, which means that it takes about 5 to 6 hours to connect and complete a kid-sized blanket. Now for the lap blanket, I actually have all the colors picked out, so that one will have a little bit less decision fatigue for me. A while back, I don't remember when exactly, but I had picked out the colors for a lap blanket. It's gonna be pink and red, kind of Valentine's Day themed almost. And I was planning on connecting it with some scrap yarn, also from my Christmas sweater video. About like 2 pounds of this color from Hobby Lobby when I made my Christmas sweaters. And, you know, I used up most of it, but I still have a decent amount left of the 1 pound thing. So regardless, I will be using that yarn to connect everything, and I think it'll look nice. Hey y'all, I haven't updated this video in a hot long while, primarily because I've been doing other things, so the filming of this crochet blanket video was kind of put to the side, but I finally did start working on the lap blanket right here. It is sitting in my lap. I have most of it put together. I'm about 45 minutes in, and I almost had a mini freak out when I thought I was going to only be able to have enough for a baby version, but I found the other pieces, so my initial vision did vision after all, which is good because that means I would have had to go digging through the box of this for more pieces. Okay guys, lap blanket squares are connected. I just need to do the border, but I am about 2-ish hours in, and you know, it might take me maybe an extra hour to do the single crochet border, and then I'll be done. 3 hours and 18 minutes. That is how long it takes to finish putting together a lap-sized blanket. I finished my lap blanket,
This is it right here. It's quite nice. Let me put this away. Now for the very last blanket I'm going to make for this video, it is going to be a baby blanket. I just chose all the colors for my baby blanket. I'm just gonna connect this with a nice white yarn and that will be it. So I'm hoping I can finish this weekend, primarily because I've been slacking on this video for quite a while. Let's connect some squares.
Okay, so I am almost 2 hours into doing this baby blanket. My arm's kind of hurting right now, so I need to take a break. But I am basically finishing up the border of the blanket. I'm on the second row, and each border is 2 rows of single crochet, so I just need to finish that, and then we can finally wrap this video up.
Hey guys, it's the, I guess, next morning, and I was able to finish the baby blanket last night, and I'm very excited. It takes about 2-ish hours, and here it is. It's quite nice. I like it a lot. So I will be putting that in the box I have to donate. Now to answer the question that everyone was here for, the final roundup of how long it takes to connect each of those blankets is as follows. For the baby blanket, it takes about 2 to 3 hours to connect. For the lap blanket, it takes about 3 to 4 hours to connect. For the kid blanket, it takes about 5 to 6 hours to connect. And for the adult size blanket, it takes about 7 to 8 hours to connect. So that is how long it takes to connect these squares for those blankets. And now I need to pack up my shipment and take that to the post office. Now with that, thank you for watching this video. I know it took a little bit of time, but it's all good, whatever. Let me know down in the comments below, have you ever crocheted anything for charity? Also, what are some other charities to donate to? I've donated to a couple of charities, but I'm curious if you also know of charities to donate to. Obviously, I know local churches and homeless shelters are a thing, but do you also know of other charities that take knit and crochet items? Let me know down in the comments below. With that, see you next time. Bye!